How many of you are here because you saw something stuck on the podium downstairs? Okay, good. The marketing did work. It crashed. Great. Um, so, so you're all here really for this talk, huh? Nice, 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 nice. But this talk title kind of changes over the course of things, and this is how I want to start it. Non-tech skills you need to master, but for what exactly? So you guys tell me, when you think of non-tech skills, what comes to your mind? And let's play a bingo game. If what you say is here, I don't know what to give, but soft skills, yeah, what skills? Communication. Whew. Bingo. What next? Team management, okay. Sales, okay. Okay. Oh God, it's going backwards. We have to move forward. Yes. Writing is there. Yeah. And then you also have team collaboration, someone said. Yes. Negotiation, empathy is there. Okay. Yeah. Empathy is there. What else? Embracing feedback. And someone said marketing, someone said sales, all of that. And the list goes on. And how did we even come to this list? How did we know these are the soft skills that exist? I mean, it's not our fault. It's actually Google's fault. Yes, there I name dropped Google because we are in a Google conference. Okay? So non-tech skills you need to master. I don't know how many of you can read in the back, but there are like communication skill, adaptability, teamwork, management, everything is right there, right? You can almost highlight it. But that's not what we are here to talk about. You can ask me what's so wrong about that. I mean, in fact, Google's saying it again and again for 5 pages. What's so wrong about it? I'll tell you what's wrong about it. Let's take a look at those slides again once. And this time we are going to dive deeper. Tell me what you see. Come again? Quotations? Advertisements? Yeah, that's going to be... Actually, there is no advertisement. I scrolled. Okay. Come again? Not necessarily. Okay, I'll give you. Look at the websites which are publishing these. Indeed.com, Geek for Geeks, Jaro Education, Aquent Talent, BST Education, Smart Bear, UAD, something Simply Learn, again Indeed, Coursera. So until up to 5 pages, it's going to be some company or the other, which is trying to make money out of developers. Right? Because Indeed is hiring you and then placing in some company. And then there is Geek for Geeks, which is giving you content and thereby making money. And all of these are doing that. But they're giving you information, right? They're giving you like what skills you need to master. What's so wrong about that? Not necessarily they're promoting anything. They're just telling you these are the 5 skills that you need to master. What could be wrong about that? Bingo. You have a bingo. Exactly, right? It's not what you should master, it's what they are looking for. And that's the concept I want to introduce next, is this concept called systems. And all our life we'll be spending in one system or another. Can you name a few? Education system. Corporate system, exactly. You guys are very smart for this talk, like incredibly smart. So school, college, and work. These are the 3 systems we keep training for. School trains us for college, college trains us for corporate, and then corporate trains us for God knows what. I don't know, maybe for our next job, right? And I was also a part of that. But then we kind of forget that we also exist in a wider, larger system that kind of revolves around this. It's called life. And for how many of you here have life happen to them? Every day, right? Maybe your bike got punctured, something or the other, small scale, large scale. Let's look at a few large scale items. Life, large scale, especially in a tech conference, we are all working and we are all professionals. Layoffs is happening, hiring is also happening, layoffs are happening, life's happening. Burnout, yeah, yeah. Oh, so many nods already. We are in the brim of letting go, but we are not really letting go. I know, I know. And then there is this, your company is just shutting off and you're asked to leave. All of this is happening. Life's happening every day. I don't know. So for me also life happened, one of these three. And any guesses? Oh, okay. So burnout happened in 2020, 2021, and I had to quit my job. And I had no clue what to do with my life. And I was until at this point, I was just a software engineer. I was doing backend, I was doing data engineering, I was doing DevOps, and that's what I was. And I want to introduce myself now. Hello, this is me. I'm Bhavani Ravi. I'm an independent software consultant now. I've been a glorified term for freelancer. Uh, I've been doing this since 2021, end of 2021, after I recovered from burnout. And then I fell in love with Python. That's my core. I've been doing that for 8 years. Be it DevOps, be it data engineering, everything revolves around Python for me. In fact, I gave a talk at PyCon India last week. It's up there, you can go check. I also founded this community called The Learning Dev to teach things like this, but on a larger scale. So that's, in a nutshell, what I do. So when I was done with burnout and I was going into corporate, you know what corporate India asks? Come again? Why is there a cap in your skill? And people were not ready to accept me as a software engineer, and I was not ready to accept that. So I got to do my own thing, and that's how I got into freelancing. This is a term that I could closely associate with to do what I want without being given it to me. Like nobody was giving the software engineer thing to me, so I had to do it for myself, freelancing. I'm going to pause here and ask, how many of you ever thought of quitting your job and becoming a freelancer? Please, please, nicely, please. Okay, then you're all in the right talk. If not, I don't know. How many of you here want to start your business? How many of you want to do both? Okay, then you're all in the good talk, okay? So for freelancing, the corporate communication, the corporate writing, the corporate team management, collaboration, none of this is going to help. Yeah, it comes handy. Of course, you need all of that. But nobody prepares you to be a freelancer. Have anybody told you, at least, did any of you had training on how to write your, quarterly reviews? We have to write our reviews, right? Review cycles happen, your appraisal happens. Did any of them train you for that? Not really. Corporate does not train you for life. And that's what I feel and believe. Nobody tells you how to find clients. And that's the very first question I get asked every time. We'll go through that. Nobody tells you, oh yeah, you're a software engineer, but what else? Nobody trains you for that. Nobody tells you how to set up your business, because now you're no longer employed to a business, you are the business. How do you keep it running? How do you think about cash flows? That's next. Figuring out taxes, especially in India. Oh my God, don't even get me started. And etc., etc., etc. Every time life happens and a new skill set gets added. So when I go around and tell people I'm an independent consultant, they ask me how did you even start this? How did you get your first client? And looking back, all of this happened over a course of 8 months. Right? And that 8-month story is the rest of the talk. And even me, giving you this talk here, has thought like, oh, I have to find my first client, right? Wrong. That's not how the world works. I can stand in a stage or stand in the top of a building and say, hey, I'm a Python developer, please give me projects. Nah, nobody's gonna care because, the world is filled with Python developers. But you can also always do, what service am I offering? That's your starting point, not finding the client. So that's your starting point. I want all of you to think about this for yourself for once again. If you ever become a freelancer, what service are you going to offer? What's coming to your mind? Software engineering? React developer? Angular? Kotlin? Android? DevOps? What's coming to your mind? Okay, maybe you're a student and you're not on that skill set yet, but that's okay. You can get there. Here's how I was. What services to offer? I've been doing software engineering for the first 3 years of my life, first 3 years of my career, and then data engineering for the next 3, and then along way I was also doing DevOps. So I'll do all those. And that's literally what I did. I put all of those, I put all of those in my website and nobody came. Nobody cared. I also introduced front-end development into it, which I have no experience on. Still, people didn't care. Full stack developer, nope, nobody cared. And if you're going to go ahead and put this is highly likely to happen to you also. Because you're no longer applying for a software engineering job. You're trying to solve a problem. And you need to know uniquely for you what that problem is. And if you're working, you're already solving those problems at your work. It's just that corporate will not tell you that you're already doing it. Okay? So let's deep dive. Software, for me, was Django backend. Data engineering, I was doing primarily on Apache Airflow. And DevOps was Kubernetes. So I drilled down one level deeper and hoping that something would happen. But Django developers were dime a dozen, and Airflow, people had no clue what it is. Kubernetes, yeah, we have people to do that. And this is, again, all of this happening over a period of 8 months, almost a year. Okay, let's let go of Django because it's crowded market. I have to prove myself. I haven't touched Django for the last 3 years. Let's only do Airflow and Kubernetes. Someone should have came. Hey, do you want to build data pipelines with Airflow on Kubernetes? I will help you out. I've been doing that for 3 years. That's been my pitch. But still nobody came. Then Airflow on Kubernetes. Because I was doing this, I know the pain points, refined it, and finally, this is what worked. Airflow on Kubernetes in 3 weeks, because if you're going to do it by yourself, it's going to take 3 months. And to arrive at that is 8 months of effort, repeated refinement, repeatedly sending proposals, getting rejected, all of that. And I don't want any of you to go through that cycle. So think about your skill sets and how it boils down to this line. It doesn't have to be Airflow for you. It can be something else. And what it is make a list of all your skills, front end, back end, team, technical, non-technical. Make a list of all of them. See how it fits. Another great hack, I don't know whether I have it on the slide. What's your unique position? How do you find your unique position? Do you guys use Slack or Teams in your company? Just go and look at what kind of questions people are asking you every day. Right? That will give you your unique expertise. That's what people reaching out to you for. So that's your unique expertise, and that's what you have to convert into your service. So that's all that combined is your expertise, and this takes time to build. This, I don't know whether you can do it right out of college or not. It took me 8 years to craft this whole technical experience, craft all this communication, writing, and all of that, and then came this. But I'm saying this is an experiment, start early. What's going to happen? Nobody's going to answer. That's it, right? Worst case. Next, where or how to sell. Can you give me few freelancing websites? Fiverr, Bingo, TopTill. Alibaba has freelancing? Weekdays, yeah. Code Mentor was one of the ones I was a part of, and then TopTill, LinkedIn. I think that's it. Yes. So, what's the problem with this? I have a problem with almost everything, no? What's the problem with this? Membership? Okay. The problem is, that's what people tell me. These sites never work. I mean, like, I am creating a profile there, but nothing is happening. How I keep sending proposals, nothing's happening. And that's how my 8 months was also. And it's a very frustrating time, for sure. There is no way out of it also, because it's an experimentation. But there's one thing I found people doing wrong in there is, you go there, you put something, you hope it works, you hope it works, you hope it works, and never do anything about it. And that's not something the way world works, the way life works. You go there, you put software engineering, React development, front end. I will put up your website in 3 weeks. Nothing works. In 2 weeks, go change it. Go tweak it. Put out more of your unique expertise. Talk to people, figure out what problems they are having, and then keep tweaking. And that will go away because you are also going to figure out how to write your pitch. You have to keep refining your service again and again and again. If something is not working, someone is not pinging you, refine, go deeper. And this credits goes to someone I look up to online called Amy Hoy. She has this course called 30 bar 500, 30 cross 500. Amazing course about how to build your business. And this is all about finding what the pain is. For example, airflow in 3 weeks. And what the dream, what problem are you solving? How is it going to look like once the problem is solved? What is your fix? And what is your result? What is the result that you're going to deliver? This is not your resume no longer holds anymore. It's only this pitch that holds. And this is how my pitch looked for Airflow on Kubernetes. It's very raw. So the pain. Setting up Airflow environment is super messy. Even today, it takes like 15 steps or 16 steps. And for a developer to crack it, to even understand what goes on in that infrastructure, it takes them 3 months, easily. You have to understand the infrastructure. You have to collect all the scripts. You have to run them, hope it works, get all the permissions, all of that. So what is a dream? Imagine running just one script, and then your infrastructure is up and running, you have your Airflow running, and then you can just give it to developers. That's your dream. What's the fix? I, Bhavani Ravi, who has worked on Airflow for 3 years, can help you with just that. With fully functional code base to automate the whole thing, and you can buy that license from me. I will help you set it up. Finally, the result. Now you have a seamless infrastructure. You can spin up as many Airflow instances as you want without hassle. And that's my package. This I sent out to people. This worked. I gave talks on this. That finally worked. I'm only giving you what worked. And there are a million other things that didn't work. And that's for you to experiment. It's all an iteration. Again, we are living in this system called life. And here, nothing plays by the rules. There is no step 1, step 2, step 3. So if you grab all this, go try it. Some of it may work, some of it may not, because your context is different. Other people's contexts are different. So maybe somewhere something happens and you finally land a client call. I hope all of that happens to you. And your first client call is such a high. Rule number 1, this is not an interview. If you think this is an interview and go in, it's going to bomb. And I'm also going to warn you on one feeling. Hurrah, I got my first client, someone wants to talk to me. Yeah, amazing. And then in 2 seconds, that changes into Oh my God, what am I going to do? Yeah, that's how I was also. Like, client call, I have never taken one in my life. How am I going to deal with this? What happens in a client call? First call. How many types of calls are there, first of all? Uh-huh. Okay, we are keep going to play this bingo game because there's an introductory call. Because you're a nobody, I'm a nobody, and I'm going to get on a call 30 minutes, and we're going to chat and figure out what we are. And very interesting question I got, how do I trust you? So someone from US. I don't know, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm everywhere online, that's how you trust me. You can sue me, I stay in this address, it will be on my invoice, but that's the max you can do. If you don't want to trust me, don't work for me or work with me. The second thing is discovery call, scoping calls, sync calls, where you think about your work reviews and all that. The scoping calls and sync calls will always be contextual. It will never go as per what I say you. There is no format for that. But for the discovery call, what do you think should happen? Actually, this is discovery call. What do you think should happen? Come on, guys, you have answers. Just give me. Thank you. Another freelancer who has cracked the code that I know. So the problem with new freelancers is you go with an interview mindset. Oh my God, they're going to ask me questions and I'm going to have to answer. Yeah, they will ask questions. You have to answer them, but it's no longer an interview. You're a service provider. You're taking the whole load of, sorry? Yes, we are playing bingo again. So first, listen. Go there, listen, sit, take a notebook, sit. Let the words come out of their mouth. Listen what they are saying. Take notes. Take diligent notes. Oh, okay, this, that, because 30 minutes after the call, you will remember nothing, I promise. Because they will be giving 30 jargons and you will not understand anything. Third thing, you don't have to have solutions at the point. Be very diligent about saying, I don't know, I'll figure it out. Right? That's most of it. I don't know, I'll figure it out, I'll get back to you. These are your great statements. But not all statements has to be like that. Yeah, I think it can go in this direction. Don't just say it depends, but also say what it depends on. And then ask deeper questions, ask refining questions. I hear what you're saying. Is this what you're saying? Is this right? Is this how it's going to be? Most of the times, people will not have enough information and they come to you with a project. And in an introductory call or a discovery call, your goal is to sign a contract. You have to take it to a point where you can sign a contract and start the project. That's when money is going to come in, not when the introductory call is happening. These are all free calls. So you have to find out how important this project is for the client. How important is this? Are they going to pay money? Are they going to sign it today or 3 months later? And it very commonly happens that people come to you, they have a ton of problem, oh my God, this is very urgent, and then everything is finalized and be like, yeah, we'll get back to you in 3 months. That's very highly unlikely to highly likely to happen. So figure out whether this problem they came to you with is a painkiller or a multivitamin. Painkiller, work for it day and night, close it, sign a contract, start the project. Multivitamin, don't get your hopes up. That's all I can say. Finally, talk money upfront. And how many of you know how to talk money upfront? Is some numbers popping up? You know how to talk money upfront? Great. We'll come to that. So that's the next question. Let's talk money. Because none of us was taught this skills. None of us were told how to talk money. So that's your income per year, tentative number that you want to earn per year. And there is this magic formula, universal. I didn't come up with this. This is the number of days in a week that we work into the number of hours that we work into the number of weeks that we work, right? Too much math. My brain can't do it. Let's ask our slides. Yes, that's your income per income per year divided by 2,000 per hours. So let's say you want to make $100,000 in a year, and you work 2,000 hours. That's going to be $50 per hour. That's your number. Now take out $10,000, put 15 lakhs. That's your number. Take out that, put your current salary. That's your number. That's what you're getting right now. Double it and quote it to your client. Always double it. Time, double it. If it takes you 2 weeks, make it 4 weeks. It will help you. And that's what the next topic is about, scoping. And scoping is very specific to that project. You cannot really master it. Like, I cannot give you 5 template to scope a project. It's very, very, very project specific. But I can tell you this. Scoping falls into 3 broad categories, which is, hourly, project-wise, or milestone. How does scope even fit into this? Because if something is only going to take you 10 hours, put it under hourly. Talk the specifics, get on a call, 10 hours, do it, send your invoice. Don't go and sign a 10-hour thing into a project-wise thing. You're going to waste a lot of money on the plate. Anything more than 10 hours, anything that's going on for weeks, can be project-wise, but project-wise payment should always come from a project where you know exactly what you're going to do. You have to be 100% sure on paper. It has to be in your contract. This is the delivery. This is what they are paying for. If that is not happening, you are not going to get your payment. Because what happens is you sign the contract. Yeah, can you do 3 more things? We didn't know what. This happens a lot in data engineering projects, right? They'll be like, yeah, we have 5 files. Let's start the project. And then 3 files comes later, which is in a format that you have never agreed on, in a format that you have never seen. What are you going to do with this, right? So project-wise is a little tricky, but you can crack it. Milestone-based is our best friend because for every milestone you ship, you agree on, and you figure out, you get paid. So scoping, when you're scoping a project, think about milestone-based or hourly-based. Project-wise, only if you exactly know what's going to happen. Delivery. This is where your magic happens. This is where you go to your room, put on a hoodie, switch on some music, and then code your thing away. But don't just do that. This is where your soft skills comes into the picture. Undercommit. Yeah, it's going to take me 2 weeks, but I'll say 4 weeks. Over-deliver. And over-communicate also. Every time you finish something, send them, hey, can you review this? This is what I came up with. Over-communicate, because clients are always suspicious. Is the project going to come? Are they doing it? Are they looking at 10 other clients? Because you are freelancers, right? And every client wants to be your favorite pet. You know, they want you to be focusing on their project alone. And that's very highly likely that you want to give them that feeling. So send a weekly update or whatever. You can decide that with your client. With all of this, it can still highly likely that nothing can be working. Which means, again, we are in an unpredictable system called life. We are not... That is also likely to happen. So what to do then is basically understand this business world and how it works. We are all developers, almost, or at least design people, yeah, software engineers. The problem is we are so trained with software engineering that we are not trained for real world. The feedback loops are larger. Like, it's not like code. You enter, you write your code, press enter, the output is either true or false. You get an answer or you get an error. You don't get squiggly lines. There's no squiggly lines in your real life. Nobody is going to point out, hey, in that 4th line, what you have written is what failed this project. No, nobody's going to tell you that. That's what business world is all about. You don't know you don't get feedback, one. And when you make a mistake, you don't know what mistake it is. And the only way to get over that is keep planting those seeds, keep iterating, keep figuring out what's working. See what's working, see what's not working. And that will not be in 1 second when you hit enter, it will take weeks. You have to be a diligent tracker of that. Build in public. This is like, even if you're not getting paid, if you're not getting customers, invest on projects. Make side projects, put it out, write about it. Keep doing that, market yourself, go to conferences like this, talk to people. I marketed my talk downstairs if you would just want to take a look after this. And then seek feedback. Seek feedback is make friends, basically. Like Arvind and I are friends for a very long time, and I gave him freelancing advice, he gives me freelancing advice. Stuff like that can happen, and freelancing community is very helpful. Make friends, network. And these people are going to bring you projects. And while doing all of this, take care of yourself, because I don't want another human to go through burnout, because it's the worst thing that can happen to a person. So anxiety, imposter syndrome, fear of failure, uncertainty, all of that is going to be there. And this is the antidote I have found recently, which is we are all in our comfort zone where everything is working, we are challenged, we get our paycheck, and then we enter this fear zone where we are laid off, we are burnt out, we quit our job, we don't know what's going to happen. And then comes the learning zone. Out of that is where everything is uncertain, but you're still making progress. You're just sitting on the laptop, coding away, and then figuring out your pitch and all that. And then finally is your growth zone, is where I feel I am right now. But again, we are not in a system, we are in life. At every point, you will be in one phase, in one aspect of your life, where as other phases, you will be in a different one. Example, you could be in learning zone in your work, but your personal life could be in a fear zone. So you are a mix, you are a human being. You are not ChatGPT to have one context state. Okay, this has been done for yes. So this is my final thing. Of course, there is your core skills, which are your soft skills and hard skills, right? Soft skills and tech skills. But then surrounding that are all these skills we have never been trained for, which is marketing, sales, tinkering, experimentation, which has been killed from us, pitching, embracing failure. All of this is what we are not trained for. These are all the non-tech skills I can think of that you need to master, not to become a freelancer, but I think it is to live life, to figure out who you are in your true essence. And you can be all of that. You are all of that. It just has been taken away by you, by so many systems, so many rules. And thank you so much for patiently listening. Can we do Q&A?
Yeah. Guys, you can ask the questions regarding to the ma'am. You can. Come up. You need to put the hot seat for the speaker.
Oh my God, I'm scared. Should I run away already?
You have to keep the speaker on a hot seat. That kind of questions you need to ask them. Come up with a good ideas. Yeah.
Hey, this is a free coaching session I provide. I charge for this outside this room, okay? So if we go out, I'm already going to have my GPay out. So... No. That's why you need to ask the questions here, not outside.
Ma'am, so when you started freelancing, during the initial stages, how often did you worked per day? Like how much time you spent on working? Was it too much, or you were able to manage it alone?
No, initially there was no work. I was free for most of the time, so I spend majority of my time. So I wake up, see if there is any inbox that I need to attend to, and then if there is nothing, I will be like, okay, today do I feel like writing a blog or writing some code or whatever. Initially nothing was working, I'm telling you, right? I barely made $50 is what? Yeah, $50 is 4,000 rupees. That's my monthly. That's what I was getting monthly. That's how I started. So, and then it became 500 and then became whatever I'm making today. But that's the trajectory. Initially, you don't have nothing, but you keep working on your marketing. That's the only thing you will be doing initially. And self-motivation to make something for yourself is what drives you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Did that answer your question properly?
Thank you. 1 second, after that I'll...
So, yeah.
Hi.
How are things now?
So, an evolution of a freelancer is how I would say it. Initially, you scroll, you try to find clients, and then there is this magical phase where you have 5 clients and all of them want you. And that's the phase I entered, and you cannot manage all those 5 clients because cognitive load is so much and you have to context switch, and one client want to do 3 different projects. All of that happens, and then you have to narrow down again. Also, by the way, you don't need a 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers. You just need 4 paying clients. That's all you need. 4 people who can trust on you, right? And then that 4 people will become too much. And there is also a phase where one of them is having a project and then the other 3 are vanishing. There is a little bit of uncertainty. Money is not flowing the way that you want it to be. And then that's when you sign a retainer, which is someone pays you monthly and then you have your time to go explore other things. And that's the phase I am in. So one client is paying me full time, a monthly check rolls in for the work I do. We have quarterly goals. It's more like a job, but it's not. That's the subtle distinction. But you are also free to work on other people, other projects, your experimentation. Sorry, making it as a business. It is already a one-person business is how I think it. No. That's a very personal thing, I guess. You just want to, I think at some point it was like, what else is there? If not this, what else? Because nobody was, I don't know whether you were there for the talk, nobody was going to hire me because there was a career gap. And I had to prove myself that I am still a software engineer. And that happens to women also a lot, right? You have a career break. So yeah, that's what motivated me, I guess.
So nowadays, here.
Yes.
So nowadays, there's a lot of awareness. So more and more freelancers are coming nowadays. So the market is becoming more competitive. So like there will be many people who. So I am a freelancer. I am in the beginning stages of my freelancing journey. So there will be many people who will be far more senior to me. So in that crowded market, how do I stand out? Consider I have a far lesser experience and compared to those seniors.
See, that's why I talked about this unique expertise, right? What is you bringing to the table that the other people are not? And trying to find that out is an experimentation. There is no easy answer to it. You have to keep doing it until one point. Think about this. Why are your current clients with you and not with an next person? Because maybe you are delivering it of quality, maybe it's something that only you can do, or maybe it's the cost. What is your unique thing? If it's the cost, you have to quickly change it because you're getting paid less, right? If it's something else, why are they paying you? And as I said, you just have to convince 4 people in the world to pay you what you deserve, right? Everything else doesn't matter.
Any others?
While you work in a corporate, there will be some head or something to like keep asking your work or something. They'll be pushing you, but you have to go to work from 9 to 5 there. So there's some commitment into the work. But as a freelancer, you are the own boss of yourself. So due to this, will the submission of something will go right in time, or is there something will put us down again?
Sorry, I lost your question.
No, did you understand the first phase of the question?
I understand the first part. There's just the last part.
But while you work as a freelancer, right, you are the own boss of yourself.
Yes.
Then how work goes in a proper way or something? There is no one to like question you or something. Only the client is there to question you. But
It is hard. It is hard. I'm telling you, right? The systems have trained you so much that you need a boss to motivate yourself.
Yeah.
So the easiest thing I could have come up with is just show up. Just show up, do something.
Yeah.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, just go experiment. You fail, there is nobody to ask, nobody to ridicule. That's okay. That's a great space to be in, right? I can be as ferocious as I want.
There's no one to question you actually
Yes.
as a freelancer. But
You
as
have
there
to
is
waste
no
it on a
one to
client
question
call.
you, as there is no one to question you, then how will you know what to tell? You are doing something wrong or something. Only the client is there to tell you, I have not got the what I have asked. But how will you kind of
I think that's the biggest feedback, right? It's not the feedback that your manager gives. Managers have to be polished. They have to retain you for the next 6 months. A project is coming in, but your clients are going to be straightforward. This is not working. That's what you will hear the first time you deliver something. This is not what I asked for, right? That is the greatest feedback you can get. Then you have the ability to go and fix it and come back in a rocket speed time, right? It's only until the client thing happens, the feedback is longer. You don't know what's working. You don't know what's not working. So yeah, that's the answer, right? Once you get your client motivation, you cannot. You will be always motivated. Yeah.
I'll conclude now.
I think their work will eventually show up. Initially, so like I said, right, what took me 8 months will take an influencer probably 2 months. But once they deliver, I've seen this happen also. Uh, once they deliver and what result they get, the 5 clients I work for, even now they come back and want some consulting call with me. And that's the kind of relationship you build. So also when you're running a race, if you keep looking like this, you're never going to win, right? And it's also not a race at all. So just focus on your 4 people, get paid and live a good life, I guess.